Welcome back to Tom Dave's Live. Today we have Heather Mansy. Heather, how are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh, great. So glad we could connect. If you don't mind, could you please share with our viewers a little bit about yourself before you got into real estate?
Yeah, gosh, it seems like forever ago that I got into real estate, but I guess the total it's been since about 2008 that I entered real estate as an investor. But prior to that, I had a career for a number of years in marketing and advertising, and that was a lot of fun. I like the creative side of it. So I would take businesses large and small and help them to understand, what their product was, what their mission was, what their service was, maybe what their strengths were, and also how to market themselves and how to be exceptional and get better market share. So it's actually interesting because it kind of leads right into what it is I do now with having a team. And then, yeah, coming into real estate, I started in about 2008. I was never a flipper, but I was a long term investor. And so I was purchasing, it was actually a great time to be buying homes in 2008. So for about 28 to 2012, I was doing purchases both for myself and for some overseas investors, as well as in-state investors for rental houses and that kind of thing. I wouldn't call myself a property manager. We just really only kind of managed our own, but I was someone who would be a scout for other people, and I would help them turn kind of a broken down little house into something that was nice, habitable, and easily rentable. And we still have some of those today.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, with that background, you add so much value to your clients. And I know that, well, you sound busy. What do you do with your spare time? What do you do for fun?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. We definitely love hiking, being outdoors. Traveling the world would be number one. So I have two boys, 18 and a half and 21. They're both at university here locally in the Vancouver, Washington area. And so my husband and I, kind of every spare moment, we're looking to either go kayaking with them, travel. My husband's from Belgium. So we would travel overseas and go to different countries. My boys have now been to, I think, maybe 23 or 24 countries, and we'll check a few more off the list when we go there. I think this year it's Croatia and Slovenia will be the new ones. But yeah, we love road tripping here or in any other country and just learning more about it. And both of my boys are kind of junior historians. So one of them is getting a bachelor's in history together with business, and the other one is minoring in it. Those two know way more about history than I could ever hope to know. I think that the whole family kind of has that interest in the things that came before and what we can learn from it.
Wow. Well, that's awesome. Well, if you don't mind, if we could back up just a little bit and if you could share and unpack your real estate story, what inspired you? What additionally inspired you to get into real estate in the
Mhm.
first place?
Yeah, it's funny because coming from outside sales, it would have been very hard for me to go back in like a 9 to 5 office environment. When I worked for CBS and Infinity Broadcasting, we did have a 9 to 5 structure a little bit, but it was kind of check in at 8 or whatever, and then you could be off doing whatever, having client appointments throughout the day after. And so I really liked this kind of free form idea of a work environment. And yeah, I got used to that. So I kind of understood after I had my boys, as I was looking to decide what was my next chapter, that I wanted a few things. I wanted autonomy. I wanted to still be in some creative problem solving environment where I could use what I knew or had learned in order to help another person. And then I also wanted that free flowing schedule. So something that maybe if I wanted to run an errand in the middle of the day, I could do that. Or if I wanted to be present at one of the many little parties or whatever that my two boys had when they were smaller, or even when they were older. I wanted to be able to be present for those things. So real estate, because I was already investing in it and we were already using that money to kind of build a legacy, a financial legacy going forward. We made kind of a joke when the boys were little. We said, okay, let's have one house per, per kid, because then as they, came of age for their college, we could sell a home and liquidate it to pay for college in the US, because college in the US is so expensive. But so actually what ended up happening is we still have those homes, but we're able to offset their college expenses with those rents. And then those homes can be used to be seed capital for their next or first, business or whatever it is they do. But yeah, so that I just really looked at the pros and cons of it. And real estate has a couple things. If you're a commission salesperson and you're used to selling things in exchange to be able to earn a living, you do know there's a lot of hard work and diligence required. But you also know that that thing you're selling really changes your success level. And I sold everything from aluminum siding and cars to, advertising and all this kind of thing. And so just seeing that if you could have the biggest pool of potential customers, and if you could earn a high commission per thing that you sold, then that for me was a dream in terms of a sales occupation, if I could still have that freedom and all of that. So I think real estate checks a lot of those boxes, because other than groceries, housing is pretty much it really is. Shelter is a universal need. And when we do sell things, we do a lot more than just earn a commission. We actually enrich another person, especially if they're going from not having owned real estate to owning it for the first time in their life.
Well, that's great. And we're honored to have you at eXp Realty. And I know that you could have joined any real estate brokerage. What inspired you to join eXp?
Yeah. So, I have been with a regional brokerage in the area, and I enjoyed my time there as an individual agent. I was an individual agent for about 7 years before I started my team, and I've had my team for about just over 5. And so at some point, we most recently were also at KW, and that was great for a number of reasons, just to grow because of the size of the building and that kind of thing. And then some of the components where I got to teach and do some other things like that was really beneficial. But in the end, I also noticed that something I used to have when I was with certain corporations, including CBS, was a 401k and, certain benefits and that kind of thing, a healthcare plan. And I didn't really see a robust offering like that from the other brokerages that I have been aware of in my time. And of course, realtors talk frequently. And so I've become aware of all the sort of popular large and small brokerages around me over the years. And I have many friends in many different brokerages, and they all have a certain kind of set of pros and cons. But in the end, I really liked several concepts. One is that you could have healthcare, that you could have a savings account, you could have stock options. So in that way, EXP is treating its agents as, valued, fully vested owners, partners, or employees in the way that any decent company would. And then on top of that, we're able to have a legacy that we can build. So what I mean by that is owning a team. It's about me going from pouring into my clients to instead pouring into individual agents. And there's so much that I gain from that just personally, and that those people can gain from their affiliation with me. I can, teach them the business. I can mentor them. I can, fill them with information and give them a boost and be their career coach. But one of the things that happens with teams is eventually they may fly the coop. They may decide to go off on their own. And while I value that decision, it's not always going to be the right one for everyone. Some people may want to be legacy agents as well. But there usually is this split where okay, that person isn't with us anymore, and we kind of say goodbye. And I have found that that is, kind of disjointed and difficult for both the team and the agent. And so, how can we keep them in our world and still have the capacity to pour into them a little bit and maybe have them benefit in that way? And that is by, one of the things EXP allows, which is that, they basically reward people who've brought other agents into the business. And so, as an upline of someone, as someone who's brought them into EXP, I can kind of stay in their world, and my family will actually get a small benefit depending on their production of what it is they do after they leave my team. And this has kind of checked a box that I was looking for a while to kind of figure out. And it also incentivizes them, even while they're on my team, that if maybe they bring a person into our world, they can similarly benefit. And so creating a legacy for themselves, creating a downline for themselves, even while they're on my team or after, and then creating sort of a connection, a thread, if you will, that holds us together, both inside the company as well as, in a team way. In the future, I found those things to be really attracting. Yeah, just so that I can still be there and be a cheerleader for their success long after they may leave my team.
Well, that's great. And because at the end of the day, what I'm hearing from you, it's just all about serving others, serving our clients, serving our colleagues, and serving all of the other agents and brokers that we have in our community and in our organization. And I love it when Glenn Sanford says, if we help enough other people get what they want, then we're going to get what we want. And we just have such amazing collaboration and support and opportunity, technology, stock, healthcare. It just goes on and on. So we're honored to have you, Heather. So if someone wants to get a hold of you, what's the best way?
Yeah, so they can reach out to me through our website. So it's mansyrealestategroup.com. Or they can also, ring me up personally at 360-953-3453. And yeah, I do make it known that we are still expanding. I've just moved into a larger kind of solo space for my team. And just that fact that, they could also reach out to us and find out what it's like to be on a team. I also talk to agents before they've got their license. And I think that that's also really important, that they shouldn't be just kind of off on their own trying to navigate the pre-license process. I've nurtured so many people through that process. And it's true that, that is something that I'm just doing as a service to that person. We do what I call being promised. It's like pinky promise, they're going to join my team when they get licensed. But I will sit down and have about an hour-long informational session with anyone who is interested, whether they are pre-licensed or whether they've already obtained their license, and whether they maybe work for a brokerage or they haven't yet decided on that. Because I think weighing the options of what it's like to be on a team, you compare and contrast. When I started in real estate, I had already been in sales for over 25 years. So I came from a very different set of, expectations and work ethic and job related people skills, all this kind of thing, than someone who's coming maybe from a 9 to 5 job, an hourly, income type job, or even just straight out of college. They're not coming with that concept of what it is to work, seemingly for free, and to have to do that diligence on a regular basis to eventually see the end result. And I think having a coach, a career coach, is so important. In fact, I have coaches to this day myself. And, I think we're always looking to level up ourselves up. That's one of the things that's so huge, just about being in any sort of a commission-based environment, is that there's no cap on you. There's no cap on what you can earn. It's all about you and what you're up to. So why wouldn't you want a really good partner for that? Even if it's just a partner to get through the license.
Absolutely. Well, Heather, thank you so much for jumping on here. We're
Yeah.
honored to have you as a team member, as a partner. We're so excited. And if any of you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to either Heather or myself, and we'll answer all your questions, and we're here to serve. So thank you so much. Thanks, Heather. Heather, have a good day.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Thank you, Tom.